Hey y'all, hey, happy Monday to you. Happy Monday to y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to Live with Tay. What up, Charlie? What up, Chandra? I see y'all in the chat. Hey y'all, hey. Can y'all hear me? Because y'all know your girl got a lot of personality, but sometimes I am technically challenged. So hey, I know what it is. But if you can hear me, just give me we can hear you. We're good to go. Hey, Cheryl, what up, girl? Today is a national holiday here in Atlanta. If you did not know, hey, Nicole, if you all didn't know, my favorite singer is in the ATL for the next 3 days. So, although I love y'all to death, tonight, as soon as this live is over, your girl going to City Winery because Layla Hathaway is in the city, and I cannot wait to hear her. And she's my favorite singer, so I gotta go see her. I gotta go see her. But before I go to City Winery tonight, we're going to talk about relationships. So we've got the queen of relationships should be joining us momentarily, Miss Chanel Scott. She is, again, the queen of relationships, all things relationships. And so I have a feeling that a lot of you all that are in the chat, or those of you all that are watching live, y'all like to talk about relationships. So we're going to open it up for questions. I love questions and all of that. And so we're going to get into it. We're going to get into it. So let me go ahead and quickly just show you all. There's Chanel. Hey, Chanel. Hey, beautiful. Well, before I bring her on, we're going to do a little commercial so that you can hear all about the wonderful Chanel Scott and about CheMinistry. If you've been under a rock and you don't know nothing about it, don't worry. I got y'all. I'm going to put y'all down in just a few. Here we go.
Hey, Purpose Partners. So most times people ask me, Chanel, what is CheMinistry inspired by? And I'm very transparent in that CheMinistry was inspired by my inability to attain and sustain healthy relationship. And so I feel like I've gone through all the trauma, all the toxic and dysfunctional relationships, and I'm finally in a space where I'm navigating the path to finding the one. And most times when I choose a topic, it's really inspired by my own life experiences. So stay tuned for this amazing topic of navigating the path of finding the one.
Listen, I mean, I needed this tonight because I'm going to keep it all the way 100 with y'all. Y'all know I'm over 40 and I'm in these dating streets. So I appreciate Chanel Scott because you be helping me navigate, and her transparency. If you haven't met her and tonight is your first night meeting her, you welcome, because I'm going to put you down with somebody who definitely is going to be your new favorite person. So let me go ahead and bring Chanel on. I'm over 40 navigating these technology streets. So this is what we do.
All right.
There we
All
are.
right.
There we are. There we are. Hello, beautiful. How are you?
Hello. Doing well, doing well. I'm so glad to be here with you tonight.
I am so glad that you are here. I know it is a busy week for you
Yes.
because if people do not know, CheMinistry 2024 Love Elevated goes down this weekend in the ATL. And if you live in the ATL or surrounding areas, or for all my out of towners that like to come to Atlanta, this is the perfect event for you to check out this weekend because it is definitely going to be some amazing conversation. And if you're navigating these relationship streets or in a relationship that you want to take to the next level, I hear that this is the place to be. Is that correct?
Absolutely. Absolutely. So this year we're going to be dealing with choosing forever, navigating the path to finding the one. And so essentially we're going to have some various perspectives on the platform. I think I'm the only single on that platform.
You're going to represent us well. You're going to represent us well.
Because the one thing I know how to do is ask a question. And so if I don't know how to do anything else, I know how to ask the question. And so we have some amazing panelists that's going to join us for this amazing conversation. We have KJ Smith and Sky Black. KJ's from Sisters, and Sky, he's from All the Queen's Men. He did make a feature on Sisters as well.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We also have my wonderful sorority sister and co-host, Selena Johnson. You guys know as R&B singer Selena. She and I, we co-host a show together called Crowned, where we talk about similar issues.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
We also have my partner, Josh Powell. He does Relationships Matter with me. And so he's my partner in crime in terms of having these candid conversations about relationships. And then we have none other than Marcus Barney, aka him 500. He definitely has an opinion and a perspective, and we see a lot of him and his wife on social media. So it'll be interesting to hear their story. And he's fairly young, so it'll be interesting to hear their story as well.
No, one thing that I must say and about this particular event is I love the fact that you all have perspectives for everyone.
Yes.
As a single, I think that it's very important that we hear from those that are married, because sometimes we have a delusional thought process that, okay, once we get married, the work is over.
Right.
No, the work the work definitely continues. And so being able to have some transparent conversations with those that are married, and then yourself being single on the panel, I definitely think it's going to be an amazing time. It's going to be an amazing time.
Yes. I think with this panel, because we have a young couple, they were just recently married, 2023, KJ and Sky. But then Selena, who's been married for 18 years.
Yeah.
Right. And so one thing is that the work does continue even after marriage, because as you know, as you get older, we got to settle in our own ways. And it's a little bit more difficult to make those adjustments as you get older. So it will be interesting to hear how her and her husband grew together through the 18-year span. It'll also be interesting to hear KJ and Sky's story, being that they are newlyweds. Marcus and his wife have been married for some time. And then Josh is also a newlywed. So to get those different perspectives will be extremely interesting.
Yes. Yeah. So y'all just have to be in the building. You just have to be in the building. But let's talk about Relationships Matter. So you have a book out that's called Relationships Matter. For those viewers that haven't heard about this book, can you share a little bit about the inspiration and your thought process behind this particular book?
Yes. So Relationships Matter. I mean, one of the things that inspired me to do CheMinistry, Relationships Matter, write the book, is my own personal experiences as a single, right? I don't mind telling people I'll be 50 in a month.
Yes. That's skin.
And listen, still single, no children. And what I wanted to do is be very transparent and candid about my own personal experiences and my inability to sustain and maintain healthy relationship, as you guys saw on the commercial. And so in the book, I'm very I keep it 100.
You keep it 100 in the book, on the podcast, in the interviews that you do, which is one thing that I have to definitely give you your flowers about. I, as a single woman myself, a lot of times you will go to singles retreats or conferences, and it's people, to me, not fully being transparent about these single streets.
They do not keep it real. And one of the things that I like to put out there, because when they see me, they think, oh, she's polished, she this, she that. She don't have no relationship issues. And I do, and I have, and I still do. Right. And I want to be the voice of the single woman to let you guys know there is nothing wrong with you. If you're single, if you have a longer shelf life than others, that means you did not settle. Period. If it does, forever is a long time. Okay. Forever is a long time to spend your life with someone that is not a good match for you. Right. I can't even fathom. The older I get, because when I was younger, I was a little bit more flexible, if you will, and I dealt with a lot more foolishness, and I tolerate it a lot more, which is why I'm probably single, because I overstayed my welcome in situations that was toxic, dysfunctional, and it just wasn't a good match for me. Right. And then I had to break away. I spent some years, I'm still doing the work, but I had to break away and just get by myself for several years and just really focus on what God wanted me to be, who he wanted me to be, and what it was that he wanted me to do. And so now I'm just not into settling. Like, I'm not, like, I can't spend the rest of my life. Like, this might be cute for right now, might be cute for today. But when I think about 5 years from now, I just don't see it. It's just not gonna work for me. And so I make the decision. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I don't know. My phone knocked us off. Ugh.
That's all right. And so if anybody is watching, because we love, this is a live recording, so y'all gonna see technical difficulties, all kinds of stuff happens. So if you are watching on YouTube, social media, and you have a question, relationship question, go on and put it in the chat, because I have solicited singles, because I definitely want to hear from you all in regards to what your thoughts are, and get some questions from the relationship queen, because she keeps it all the way 100.
Yes.
Why I wanted to definitely have her on the show, because y'all know we have real conversations and we keep it 100. So
keep it 100. Yeah, I'm so sorry for that.
That's okay.
No, but forever is a very long time, right? And there are certain things that we tolerated when we were young because we thought we had time. And we're like, oh, they're going to change. Oh, they're going to be different. Oh, they're going to outgrow this. No. We do not fall in love with potential. Potential will get you stuck. Potential will get you 50 and single. Okay? Potential will have you 50 and single with no children. And I keep it real, because listen, I don't have anything to hide. I put my life on public display so people can use me as an example of what not to do. They can learn some things of to do, because I'm a businesswoman.
Yeah.
But the area of my life that's laying, y'all, for real, is my relational life. Like, you know how you can produce publicly, but you're laying privately. There's an area that you just cannot produce in, and that is the area of relationship for me. So I am not a self-proclaimed relationship expert. I do have an undergrad degree in social work, so I understand human behavior, but I'm here to just keep it real, to give you an example of what to do now and what not to do in my past. Right. And so in that book, Relationships Matter, I articulate some of my more dramatic experiences that was just outlandish and crazy. As bad as it could possibly be. So you can see, okay, well, you can even say, well, maybe mine wasn't that bad, but close enough. And so I know, so I put it out there, and then I talk to you guys about how to navigate those situations, because you got to remember, these experiences were 20 plus years ago. So now you got the person who has some wisdom now helping you navigate. I'm telling you, I went through that. That's my experience. I can articulate it. I lived it. I'm not just telling you what I think. I'm telling you what I know, but I'm also helping you navigate through that same experience so that you don't get yourself in that situation, or if you are, how to
move through. No, and I think that's a very good point, and you should be applauded, because singles, if we keep it all the way 100, we understand how it is to be single. We single. It's the navigating and how to maneuver through when you get stuck sometimes. Because sometimes, you get stuck. Sometimes you get in a rut where you're like, God, now I know this ain't really what you had for me.
Yes.
And for you to be so transparent, I applaud you, because in a world where people aren't transparent, you truly are walking in your purpose. I saw in an interview where you said, I believe God put me through those situations so that I would be able to walk in my purpose and share factual or, realistic advice to people, because you have been through it.
Right. The thing about, let me tell you about God. So some would say, aren't you embarrassed about some of those experiences, or to even share? God has blessed my life in such a tremendous way. It's like, what are y'all going to say? Do you see my life? Do you see what he's doing? Like, it's nothing that you could say. You know what I'm saying? Okay, you could say you're still single, but is that so bad? the alternative is to be with someone who's not a good fit for you, you know, or someone who you're not happy with, or someone who you feel stuck with, that you feel like, I can't get out of this situation. I have been in scenarios where I was stuck in a life mess. I actually went through a situation where I believe this man, I don't even reference him as a gentleman, but he was a man that I believe was my husband, and he was not. And I believe that God told me that. I believe this erroneous belief that this man was my husband, and as a result of making bad decisions, I lost everything.
Ooh.
I lost everything. And this wasn't like over a 6-month time period. You know, we go through stuff. No, this was over 8 years of my life in my 30s. I lost, you know, and those were the years that I should have been thinking about having babies.
Yeah.
Doing all those different things. And I lost that time due to making foolish decisions. It wasn't because I had a lack of resources. It was because of bad decision making.
Yeah.
Right. And just manipulating the words to fit my own agenda. People do that a lot. They don't.
Ooh, that's a good one now.
They don't.
Manipulate the words that fit your agenda. I'm gonna give you credit for that one, but you're gonna see it again. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
People do that. They be like, well, God said, or I prayed, or
ain't heard nothing. They made nothing.
It's in here.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's in here, because you have to have a word that aligns, and it ain't one word, right? It's multiple words. Like you gotta have a relationship with God, not just, oh, I heard this word one time on church day and this what he said. No, you gotta worship. You gotta be a frequent worshiper, or you're gonna get that thing messed up. And I'm a living example of someone who did that. But what I love about God is that he honored my ignorance. I was ignorant. I didn't, I'm like, God, I didn't know, and in that process, that's when I tapped into purpose. That's when I learned who I was in his eyes. In that moment, he gave me exposure to how to build a business, and put me around people who were productive and progressive. And I learned a different skill set, things that I had never had exposure to had I not gone through those experiences. So he made good use of the time. Now, if you ask me, Chanel, in my flesh, I'm like, bull. But
I had some things to do, Lord.
Yeah. But he made use, because his plans are different from our plans.
That part.
His plans are completely different from our plans. So he had a plan. His plan went forth. My plan was trashed real bad. Real bad. But, in that moment, he taught me how to hear from him correctly and how to pursue him properly. And so now I don't play with it. I don't play with it. I'm like, God, if you're saying no, then the answer is no.
Right.
I'm all right with that. I might, get a little attitude, but I'll get over it. And I don't have a problem saying that, because I have a relationship with them. That's so like,
you bring up a good point with that, because as I see some people, shout out Charlie, I see him in the chat. Shout out Charlie, Toya B. Cheryl said, listen, that's good. Forever Golden Phillips. Rob Malloy is in the building. I can't believe he ain't asked a question.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Rob. And so when you talk about the being patient, right? What pep talk would you give a young lady or a young man watching this right now who is in relationship, but they are still just, it's that impatient season, and when you get angry, or I always say, I'm like, well, God, are you really listening to my heart's desires? What's the holdup? What pep talk would you give someone to how to navigate that season if they're in that right now?
So before you even get into a relationship, because my prayer started with, I had a successful career, right? This is my second career. I had a successful career. I owned a home. I had a little nice car. I had all those things, but I felt like the husband was missing, and I had a void in my life. I thought it was the man, but it was really God. And so when I prayed, Lord, I want a husband. This is my heart's desire. He did not give me a husband. He gave me purpose. Ooh. So what I would say to young folk is, before you even think about getting into a relationship, make sure that you have tapped into your purpose. Make sure you know who you are, because people are going to disappoint you over and over again. But when you are in your purpose and you know who you are and you find contentment in that, it won't hurt as much. You might get disappointed, but you're not going to attach your value to a man. Like, they don't make you who you are. You got to know who you are. aside from that, so many times we attach our value to a man and we think we're not good enough, or we need to have a man to feel good about ourselves. And that was me. And so what he took everything. I mean, when I tell you he took everything, he was like, oh, you want that? Okay, you sincerely, you genuinely, okay. He snatched everything. He just brought me to really nothing. And I see myself the way he saw me, and then he just put the pieces back together.
The way they were supposed to
be. The way they were supposed to be, the way that he destined for it to be. So now this Chanel, who's in purpose, who's in alignment with her purpose, somebody disappoint me, I'm like, cool, I'm cool. Like my life is complete already. So you're going to be an enhancement, really.
Oh, that's good.
I'm attaching my value to you because I already know who I am. So, you know, if you don't want to be with me, cool. If you don't like me, it's your loss. You
yeah.
You don't overstep your welcome with someone who's not good for you.
That's a whole word. Somebody said hello in the chat. So yes, that is definitely a good word. So Chanel, you mentioned something earlier. When people see you, I think you are absolutely gorgeous. You are always put together, honey. You even if you got on sneakers, she is put together. And you just have a presence about you, just of confidence, or like you just said, because you know your purpose, you know who you are. Why do you think that a woman like yourself that knows who they are, other people read that as arrogant, unapproachable, things like that, or men may get intimidated by that light, I call it a light, that you have when you walk in the room? Why do you think that is?
Because they're insecure with themselves. It invokes a level of insecurity within themselves. I can't tell you how many times I've met other women off the bat, they give attitude or resistance. And these are people who I hire. You know, it's not like I came to you because you have a skill set and you're good at what you do, because you wouldn't work with me if you wasn't.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so, and then the level of intimidation, and I stand 6'1", so I get it. So I try, you know, I have learned over the years how to manage that. That's unfortunate for me because I'm like, God made me this way. Like if it was my choice, I'd be 5'1" probably, because that would open up a whole nother pool of men for me. But being
because being child, it's all right. You tall and beautiful, and if your husband, God gonna find the right husband that's gonna match all of that. So it's all right. It's gonna be okay.
It is. So it's not my choice, but I have learned how to manage that. Even in the workplace, when I was in corporate, when I was in corporate, I had to learn how to manage that. Don't stand over them. Stand back. You know what I'm saying? Like that was a thing. And I would run into that a lot. You know, and so it evokes a level of insecurity within those people, whether it's a man or a woman. It has absolutely nothing to do with you, but more so everything to do with them, and them not feeling secure with who they are, them not knowing who they are. So that's a red flag if it's a man, because you don't want to be with a man who doesn't know who he is, because he's not going to have a vision for you and him. He gonna lead you. It's like the blind leading the blind.
Don't lead me. He can't lead me because I know where I'm going. So
you gotta have a vision. That's important. So that's something that we as women, we need to look at. Like, does he have vision? You know, is he insecure? You don't want someone to try to control, you know, or like someone who is intimidated by your purpose. Right? You want someone who can stand beside you and support you, and they decrease when you increase, and you decrease when they increase. Support them as well. So you gotta have a good balance of that. So I think that's the reason, insecurity.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. I did have some questions. I didn't got so excited. I just got off track. I didn't got off track. Okay, here's one of my questions. So, in your experience, what unique challenges do Black women face in finding and maintaining healthy relationships as we get older? So shout out my over 40 club. Hey, we out here. What do you think are some challenges that we face to either find those healthy relationships or maintain them?
You got to find balance. So you got to leave the title at the door. You got to leave your title, whether you CEO, boss, CFO, all of that has to be left at the door when you're trying to nurture a healthy relationship with a man. Like you can't come in bossing your man, y'all. That ain't gonna work. That's not gonna work. And for me, like that has been somewhat of a struggle, but that's also an indication that that's not the right person for me too. There's two things going on, you know? And so I think that's one of the challenges of successful Black woman is that you got to be able to find balance and you got to know when to turn it off and when to turn it on. And you got to have a partner who understands the difference, who can respect you when you're operating in that space, especially if you two work together in any capacity, you know, and then he understands, okay, that's, you know, I understand that's my wife. She's in that mode and I can respect that. But then when you come inside that behind, once you close that door at night, you got to know how to lessen that, how to temper that, how to create a good balance.
That's good. That's good. I guess that's why I'm still single, because that was a word for me. So if it ain't blessed nobody else, then it blessed Tay, because it is a balance trying to cut off. And when you do media and you're out and about, you do need someone who's going to be secure in themselves to be able to balance it. Because sometimes you come home and I'm like, Lord, I just want somebody to rub my feet, have a dinner ready for me, X, Y, and Z. And it's DoorDash and just by myself. So it's okay.
That's my friend.
I listen, I enjoy my
friend.
Right. So what's one piece of advice you would give a woman over 40 that's navigating the dating scene or is in an existing relationship but needs to enhance that relationship?
Be intentional.
Ooh.
If you gotta be intentional about your relationships, like that whole going with the flow, y'all, we ain't got time no more. You over 40, you don't have time to go with the flow. You gotta be purposeful about where are we going in this relationship? Are we on the same page? Do we have the same similar, it don't have to be the same goals, but similar goals? Because when God brings two people together, it's much larger than those two people. He brings us together for something, to do something for the kingdom, right? All the other romance and I'm attracted to you, that's bonus. It really is. It's bonus. Like he's not gonna put us with someone that we're not attracted to, but just know that we're brought together to do something much larger than ourselves. So you got to be intentional about your relationships and be purposeful and have a plan and a vision for where you see that thing going. And don't be afraid to ask those questions when you meet someone, because if they leave because you are intentional, then that's not your match.
Ding, 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 ding. I wish I had some sound effects. I keep telling everybody I need some fat sound effects, because that right there, pin it, play it back. We gonna snip it. Don't be afraid to ask the questions. Ladies, we are seeing signs, or we are get delusional in our mind when all you had to do was ask the question.
Or
don't be afraid of what that answer is gonna be. Some of us don't ask because you know that the answer is going to be something that you don't want. And so you end up trying to manipulate the situation.
This is a thing. And today, I mean, we old school, but this whole idea of multiple dating, it just
Come on now, Chanel.
It just don't jive with me, y'all. And I'm very vocal about that on my platform and in private. What you see in public is really what you get in private. Anybody who knows me will tell you that this is really who I am. So when I say, okay, I'm not really down with the multiple dating, like we could be friends and I'll nurture a friendship with you and we can hang out from time to time, because you're not going to monopolize all my time and get my emotions all caught up and all you want is friendship, right?
Right.
So don't try to put me in a situation that I just said to you I was not interested in doing. You have to get my buy-in before you do that. I have to agree. Like, that's your life. This is my life. So if it's something that I don't want to do, don't put me in a compromising situation. And men do that. You would say, okay, I'm really not into the multiple dating thing. And they're like, no, and they'll try to impress you and do all those different things. And then you find out it's multiple people, it's other folk. And 9 times out of 10, we as women know this. There's always that one person who think they're in a relationship with that man who really ain't, because he's not being clear or he's lying.
Or you didn't ask. That's another thing. You did not ask. Or you
ask.
avoided the signs. Women, if you are watching this, when you ask that man if what is he looking for, and he says he is not ready for a serious relationship
What do you
right
think?
now, and in your heart that's what you want, why is you staying? Why do you think you're
Believe
gonna change that
me.
man's mind? Because you're not. It's
Believe
not gonna
me.
happen. And then you get upset when he finally does
Mhm.
decide to be in a relationship, but he ends up having that relationship with somebody else because you
Mhm.
didn't listen to him, and
Mhm.
he playing you for a joke because he's
Mhm.
already told you that he
Mhm.
didn't want a relationship, and you keep giving him, Charles, your lunch is ready. We're not doing it. We're
We're
not
not doing
doing
that. But
it.
these men, they'll say, they have their friends. I even had just a quick story. I had a situation. I mean, the guy was younger because I attract younger men. I don't know why, but I do.
Because you look young, you look like
I
you're
just
30.
but then when you get into the immaturity of it all, because I like younger men too, I'm not gonna lie. But the guy, he said, he was single. During Christmas time, you be going through the stories. I wasn't even looking for his stuff. I was just going through everybody's story. And I'm like, oh, he's with his family. And I said, oh, yeah, I tell that's family. And that's family. There was one young lady who I knew wasn't family. She didn't look like family. She was not family, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he
Mm-hmm.
wished her happy birthday, even though it was Christmas time. So, me being me, I hit the little link and I'm, looking through the
Come
page.
on, Chanel, and
See
be
who it
transparent,
is.
because you ain't the only one that does digging.
Yeah,
You got
I do
people
that.
around.
I need to see who this is. She at your family house. It's Christmas time.
I got questions.
I got questions. Sure enough, this was Christmas time. I saw a post from Valentine's Day almost a year later where they had spent Valentine's. They had gone out of the country several times. And I said something to him about it, and he was like, we're friends. He told me I was loud and wrong. I said, no, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I know we look at the
I
same
would have said,
page.
call her and let's all have
Yeah,
a
I'm not
conversation.
wrong. This woman said to you, like, we got a lot of life to live, is what her post. We got a lot of life to live on. So what she's saying, like, and this is almost a year later, is definitely more than a friendship.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? But this is someone who I was very vocal with about what I wanted upfront. Don't really do the dating. Because see, my thing is, guys, for me, I have to operate with integrity. I do
Yeah.
relationship talk. So my
Mm-hmm.
dating life can't be raggedy. Like I just can't have raggedness around me. It'll take one quick second for you to make a wrong decision
Choice.
and
Yeah.
lose everything. Because
Yeah.
people gonna say, how's she gonna talk about relationships and look at her life? Look
Yeah.
at what's happening
Mm-hmm.
today with social media. People put stuff on social media to expose and embarrass you. You
Yeah.
have to be mindful of who you keep around you, because anybody who's willing to put you in a compromising situation, they don't care about you. They don't care about your destiny, where you're going, your purpose, everything that you're working for. They just care about themselves. And you can
Mm-hmm.
lose it in a split second, y'all. Even if it's not you being the aggressor, just think if we were out and that young lady saw us out.
Mm.
You see what I'm saying?
No, I've had that situation where the lady walked up to us. We were out to dinner and she had on a black outfit, no shade. But when she came to the table, I thought she was the waitress. I'm just smiling. I said, hey, to know me is to know I'm always making for, hey. And I was like, wait a minute. I don't think she is the waitress. She was upset at this man for going out. She was like, how could you do this to me? And blah, 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 blah. I get embarrassed quick. I don't do no foolishness. So, child, listen, I didn't know nothing about you. And she was very polite to me, but she was obviously very hurt because this man had given her the illusion that she was the only one. And he was like, that's just my friend. We friends. Whoop whoop whoop. You cannot do that because
Mhm.
don't have me outside looking stupid. Like they said, don't be playing in my face because I don't want that. I do
Right, and
not want
now in today's age, y'all, we don't go out unarmed
that
now.
part.
We have
That,
Susie in the bag, so you put us in the compromise.
and I don't want it all on media takeout and everything else that I was trying to
Yes, who
hurt.
has time for that?
Right. Okay. So they got some good questions in here. So I'm not gonna. I got it. So hold on.
Okay.
Uh, Mr. Hunter, because I don't want to say the first name wrong. If they say they're not ready for a serious relationship, the next question should be, so why are we here?
Yes.
That is true. Then he or she says, sorry. So is it wrong to still have friendships with an ex while dating in a monogamous relationship? I got an answer to that, but I'm not the queen of relationships, so I'm gonna let Chanel give y'all.
They know the answer to that question. That's why they asked the question.
Oh, hey, Michi. Oh, my bad. I didn't know who it was. Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
they know you only know the answer to that question. I'm not going to say that it's impossible for you to have a platonic relationship with an ex and there not be anything else, because I have those types of relationships, but only you know if it's appropriate. You know that, and if you respect your current partner and you know that relationship is inappropriate, then you have to make some hard decisions and you have to let it go. You have to let it go.
That's why Chanel is the queen of relationships. Because meanwhile, Tay over here is saying, listen, let me tell you something. When people say, can you still be friends with your ex? My ex-husband, we are cordial. I'm not calling him. We're not having conversations, because at the end of the day, if it didn't work out, I'm not in the recycling business. And an ex, you've got relationship there. This person has, well, for me, this person has seen me unclothed.
Yes.
There's no way that you're going to be out with your new boo, or we going to be sitting down having dinner and chit-chatting, and you don't have a flashback of all of this goodness. So ain't no need to even put yourself in that compromising situation. Absolutely. Nor myself. So no, I don't think but that's Tay. And again, I'm not the relationship queen.
Every situation is different. Because I mean, I think about, obviously, if you're in a relationship with a new person, you need to tone it down. Even it, because I have platonic men friends that they never seen this.
Right.
But when you are engaging someone new, you don't want them around all the time. And I've had to say that to like one of my friends in particular. I call him my brother. He's been there for me. He supported me. He's like one of the only, I call him family in Atlanta, because I don't have much family here. But when I am trying to have someone new engage a new friendship relationship, you got to kind of tone it down. Like, I never forget, I've got a story. Are you crazy? Like, I had to really talk to him. So I was at a book signing, my partner's book signing, and there were a ton of men now. Now, I wasn't entertaining one particular person, but there were a ton of men. And my quote unquote brother, who's not really my brother, he was there supporting. And I go to the bathroom to wash my hands because I had eaten some food. This boy walks into the bathroom with me. I said, "What are you doing? Even though I was washing my hands and I had the door open, why are you in here?"
Because when you walk out, no, see.
Yeah, it looked
it looked like
it was saying?
Yeah.
So you gotta balance that. Because I mean, that really made me hot. I said, I had to talk to him. I said, "What was that about? Are you trying to give off something that's
an
really
illusion?"
An illusion, or what are you doing? And so from there, because I believe in these situations. I mean, he's my friend, one of the only friends that I have here, but I had to check the behavior.
Yeah.
And I had to take a step back and say, okay, so maybe I feel like he's my brother, but I know that he's not. Maybe I'm making him too comfortable.
That part. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you got to create boundaries.
Yeah.
That was definitely a boundary. I won't say violated, but definitely crossed.
Yeah.
But I made him comfortable to do that, because when we're at home chilling, we family, know.
But out in public,
out in public, because I said, if that was my blood brother, my real brother, my brother that I have, he wouldn't even been paying me no attention. He would have been on the other side of the room doing whatever he was doing.
Right.
And that's the truth of the matter. So
no, I think that's good. Somebody, one of my girlfriends had a live today, and she was saying, sorry fellas, that some of the men, y'all are just as petty as women. Because she was saying how it was somebody who she had been in a relationship with. They were no longer in a relationship, but they were still friends. That he makes it a point to always tell people, me and blank used to have a thing. Why are you out here telling people? Like, why do you do that?
I don't understand
we
that.
Too old for that. And he over 40, so he ain't got no business telling nobody what used to happen. And now you make it uncomfortable for his new girlfriend, because he's always telling people, "Oh, I used to date."
Yeah.
Who does that?
Want to ruin a friendship, and same way, vice versa. When my friends that are men that I have nothing with, but we're friends, when they meet a new woman, or I keep my, they don't have to ask me to stay away.
Yeah.
I'm a woman and I understand.
Mm-hmm.
I say, let me meet them, and I chit chat and joke. Let these women know that we are friends. Like, I don't want you to be intimidated by Chanel Scott or nothing like that. But at the same time, I do put some space in that thing. You don't need to be all over there all the time,
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, because when your husband shows up, I'm gonna need all your platonic male friends to do the same.
Exactly.
Mr. Husband is gonna say, "Back up now, back up."
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
no, I love it. I love it. So, this weekend the event goes down. Relationship Matters podcast. I need to put that on there. So anybody who is watching, if you all do not subscribe, watch the Relationship Podcast, I'm telling you, it is one of my regular podcasts that I support because the balance between you and Josh is amazing. And y'all always keep me y'all keep me laughing, but y'all always keep it 100 too. So make sure that you all check out the Relationship Podcast. And again, this weekend going down in the ATL, make sure CheMinistry April 7th. Tickets are available now. Doors open at 4. The conference, don't listen. If you live in ATL, don't hear about it because I ain't going live. I got my ticket. I ain't going live because y'all should be in the building so that you can get the 411. I'm gonna give y'all some little pictures afterwards, but I'm not giving you the good information. But you need to be in the building because it's definitely an event that you don't want to miss. And I just got a feeling it's gonna be some serious, real conversations, and you definitely want to be in the building. And then Relationship Matters, the book. Yes. Chanel Scott, get that book, baby. Yes. Chanel, what is your favorite chapter of the book? That's one question I have for you. I'm curious to see.
I don't have a particular, I don't have a particular favorite chapter. And the reason being, I think the whole book is a great read. And it's because I'm talking about some of my more dramatic experiences throughout the book. The feedback that I get so often, people say, well, I'm so sorry you went through that. I didn't know you went through that. What I will say, because I'm thinking about what is my favorite part of the book, there is something in the book that I do that stands out. In the back of the book, there is what I call a feelings wheel, because so often when we're in relationship or trying to be in relationship, we have various emotions that we go through for different reasons, whether it's rejection, whether it's being happy, whether it's being angry, whether it's being jealous, and so the feelings wheel, it starts with, it'll say, what do you feel right now? What is the emotion based on the wheel? And then it grows. And so you pick one emotion and it's color-coded, and it will lead you into a direction so you can understand what it is that you're feeling in this moment so that you can better manage your emotions. Because so oftentimes we think, I'm angry, but I'm not angry, I'm hurt. That's different.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing, and I mean nothing, worse than relationship pain.
Definitely.
You can't take a pill to get rid of it.
Go away. There's no timeline either.
No.
People kill me with that, and the fact that, oh, well, you should be over it by now. You can't. You don't know that.
Yeah. Absolutely. So that it helps you to tap into your emotions and how you feel. It helps you to better understand how you feel so you can better manage it, especially in those high stress moments. Yeah. So that would be my favorite part if I had to point something out.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get my book. I can't wait. I'm going to have, once I finish reading it, I got to bring Chanel back on so we can have some conversations in regards to the book. Chanel, I always ask people a question. So in the story of your life right now, today, in this moment, if your life was a movie, what type of movie would it be? Would it be a horror, comedy, romance, drama? I'll even take sci-fi. What would you say?
Drama.
And why?
It would be a drama because I don't know. Like I told you, most of my friends, like I say, Josh and I have been friends for about 6 years, right? We've been partnering for 6 years and we do relationship talk. And so it's just to have those relationships candidly and then know each other privately, and to see the tussle. You would be like, y'all crazy.
No, I see it in the eyes. Because
yeah,
y'all will sit there and you'll ask a question or he'll say something to you and you'll be like, You
Yeah,
get that one little pause look like you wait till this is over. I'm gonna get you. But y'all do it so well.
yeah.
So
We are so different in our thought processes. We have
mm-hmm.
different perspectives. Josh is an athlete. So he has that perspective. That's like the far end of the spectrum. Like if there's anything to experience, he has
He
experience,
did it, right?
right? And I'm the one over here who's more conservative. Like, nah, I don't agree with multiple dating. I don't agree with cheating. I ain't with all that, you know.
Mm-hmm,
And
mm-hmm.
so you got this large spectrum, and we're trying to meet somewhere in the middle. And that could just be dramatic.
Mm. And then throw some guests in. So
And then
hey,
throw some gas in.
yes, I definitely I think it's amazing. I thank you again publicly for being a woman who is transparent, authentic about her dating and where you are. I can't wait. I believe in manifesting, and the right mate is on his way to you because you are putting in so much work, and that man is headed to you. And I can't wait to be like, oh, because even when you say I do, I still believe you still have ministry to give to us who aren't there just yet. So again, y'all, please, please, please make sure, y'all know I'm old, make sure that you get the tickets to come to CheMinistry April 7th. If you follow me on social media, I have put the link in the post so that you all can get your tickets. And also make sure you get the book. Relationship Matters. And girls, get your crew together and y'all could do this as a great book club read. I'm sure it's going to have some good conversations that you and your girlfriends can talk about. Relationships matter as we elevate and navigate to have everlasting
I just
relationship.
want to share with your audience, since you're speaking on the book,
Mm-hmm.
if you purchase a VIP ticket to
You get
CheMinistry, it includes the book.
mm-hmm.
Put the book in there as a part of that package. That way you automatically get your copy of the book, and then I'll be there signing books as well. But that is one way to get like a 2-for-1. You get your good seat, you get your book, you get some free food, you know.
And
So
you know, all of us are VIP, but you got to invest. So, ladies, fellas, if you are serious and this year you said to yourself, I want to elevate, I want to get a mate, you know, I'm trying to navigate these dating streets. Is somebody out there for you, but you got to do the work and invest. Come to this event. Let's have some real good conversation. Chanel, tell everyone how they can follow you on social media.
you can find me under Chanel Nicole Scott on all social media platforms. Real simple. Chanel Nicole Scott.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. Well, thank you. I look forward to seeing you in person this weekend. And until next week, y'all, make sure you keep it locked. It's Live with Tay. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. If you enjoyed tonight's conversation, which I'm sure you did, make sure that you share it with a friend who didn't get a chance to watch so that they can tune in as well. So until next time, y'all, I'm off to City Winery to go see Layla Hathaway. So I'm out. I'll see y'all a little bit later. Peace, y'all.
Bye
Bye.
bye.